there, Damico from YourResearchDiva.com, and today I wanted to give you the writing tip that could just put you out of business if you're writing online. Now, I recently ran across an article geared towards expert writers that suggested if they knew a particular list of 100 words, then they would be considered a great writer. However, as I looked at this list, I thought, man, if writers wrote with those kinds of words, they'd be out of business really fast. Now, from a marketing standpoint, I expected there to be certain words on that list, kind of these emotional, triggering, action-taking kind of words that would move your customers to do something or feel something after they wrote or after they read what you wrote. But guess what? None of those types of words were on this list. Instead, this list contained 100 what I would call $10 words that may make you feel really smart when you say them, or if you can even pronounce them, but it's going to leave your reader a little bit alienated. Now, here's a little sample of what kinds of words were on this list. Amalgamate, Criterion, Incongruous, Loquacious, Recapitulate, Unctuous, Vacuous, and supercilious, which it's all kind of sillious, isn't it? Now, there's always this debate about whether or not we should be dumbing down our content for our readers, and that's really not what this is about. You can't assume that your reader doesn't necessarily know the meanings of these $10 words or lacks the ability to look them up in a dictionary to figure out what they mean. In fact, I would argue that your reader is smart enough to say and read what needs to be said and read without a whole lot of nonsense, right? For example, when you're writing and you want to say that someone is loquacious, why not just say that they talk too much or they babble on and on and on? Don't make your reader stop and have to go look for their dictionary in order to finish your article, because chances are their dictionary is somewhere buried near their yellow pages. What you want to remember when you're writing content for the web is that the readers are coming to you probably already a little bit distracted. They're not necessarily coming to you and getting ready to hunker down and do some major studying. So don't distract them even further by throwing a bunch of $10 words at them that really only serve to impress yourself. So what's the real goal when you're creating content for the web? Well, in most writing, the goal is to communicate. So what you want to do is you want to use language and words that is going to effectively communicate what you want to say without a lot of drama. When you write, say it clearly, say it concisely, and say it in language that your customers actually use. And guess what? You can communicate very effectively without using all those $10 words. And also know that just because a person doesn't use those kind of $10 words in their everyday language, it does not mean that they're not intelligent. In fact, one of the funniest things that I read in this article was actually, it came in the comments from somebody who was supporting the idea that using these types of fancy words was a good idea. Now, their logic was that using those kinds of words in print ads would be very smart, because people that were intelligent and would know those words would have credit cards, and people with credit cards were intelligent, because apparently, according to this person, having a credit card raised your IQ. Really? Now, I would challenge you to find a single print ad in the copywriting halls of fame that actually used some of these fancy words that were on this list. It doesn't happen. They use plain, simple language, that communicates a point and effectively draws the reader into the ad, right? And this kind of plain language has made millions and millions of dollars for the people who have put those ads together. So there are really 3 writing tips that I want you to walk away with from this example. The first is to remember that the purpose of writing is to communicate. And if you're using language that's not appropriate to your subject or to your audience, then it's just going to get lost in translation. Number 2 is that today most people are reading stuff online on various types of devices. They've got their mobile phones, they've got their laptops, they've got their computers, they've got their tablets. And chances are they don't want to spend a lot of time jumping between your article and a dictionary. And guess what? They're not going to do that. And number 3 is don't believe everything you read about writing tips. While this particular article about the 100 words that expert writers should know was maybe interesting as far as the comments that were generated from the article, the fact is the information they were trying to give you was just wrong. So you as a marketer, as a business owner, as a writer, you have to know in your gut what's right and what's wrong. And if it doesn't make sense for you to use a $10 word, don't do it just because somebody said that you would be considered an expert author if you use that word. So there you have it. This is Damico from YourResearchDiva.com. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're looking for more great content marketing information and writing tips, click that link below and I'll see you over on the website.